This is Red Moon Role-Playing.
Dr. Christensen, you've just been fired from your job. Your wife is waiting downstairs. Your daughter is in a hospital bed, not doing all that well. Stable for now, but weaker and complaining about pains in her chest. There was a lot of things that you just saw. Someone had taken footage of what was going on during the experiments. It was, of course, heavily slanted, not fair, but also not untrue, just distorted. But more importantly, the test subject, the one that you need, the one that could potentially save your daughter. Perhaps especially now, given how things seem to have deteriorated quite quickly with regards to her condition. If you could find that one, perhaps you could go through with a transplant. Perhaps you could save her. Perhaps you could stabilize things for real. But you'd have to find that test subject first. Your eye goes to the phone and to the last message that you received from Dr. Whitehead. She had found out something. There was something that had given her a clue of how to solve the predicament that you were in. She didn't elaborate further, and she is now seemingly dead, at least that's what everyone has said. Perhaps she was onto something.
I realize that I'm standing by the window, clasping the heater, the radiator, holding it very hard, almost shaking it with my hands at first, but as my thoughts go toward this, from thinking of who could have done this despicable act, and who took this footage. Someone at the hospital must have somehow gotten that and leaked it to this person. Someone in here might know who that is. But then again, yes, Dr. Whitehead did see something, or she came to some sort of conclusion that she was going to tell me more about, but maybe she's made a note somewhere. I should go to her home. There's a few things I gotta set in motion. I gotta find out who here in the hospital knows something. I look at the projector. Does it have a USB stick in it or something? Where was it played off of?
It must have been played off of her laptop via Wi-Fi. The video is gone now.
Doesn't matter. I saw it there. I saw our test subject. The one. That's all I needed. Whoever that was, I'm not gonna find out more from that. And I have a feeling that maybe they'll even come to me. They already have, in a way. That must have been them on the car the other day. Yeah. Is there someone in the hospital that is a friend, that's someone that I can confide in a bit more, that knows a little bit more about what I've been doing?
Aside from Dr. Whitehead, you did have an assistant, the one that was holding down the test subject there, for example. You think after the break-in that happened, he quit. Something about not being all that comfortable with what had happened, something along those lines. Aside from that, you're not really sure.
Yeah.
Dr. Whitehead's home is pretty close to the hospital. You were thinking about that. It's not far off at all.
Yeah. I should go have a look. I mean, Not sure if I can get in, but maybe there's something. Or maybe someone... Or maybe I can somehow get the keys if I just can convince someone that some of the paperwork that's mine, that now is false to me after the project is being shut down, and also her, being passed away. Maybe I can ask someone to allow me to get in there. Maybe it's the police, but that's gonna be a long procedure, possibly. I'll just go there first.
It is, yes. You head over there. It's a minimalist black and white house close to the hospital on Northwest Coronado Street. The houses here are all 1-2 stories, and the place has a very suburban feel to it. A Pacific Northwest take on Wisteria Lane. There's a new security door that seems to have been recently installed, and you see stickers indicating camera surveillance on there as well. The door features what looks like both a keyhole and a card reader.
Oh yeah, of course. This is probably with the help of... No, they couldn't have moved that fast. Not after that, just that night. What was that, 3 days ago? Coleman's associates? Well, who never knows. I mean, who knows how quickly he will get people to act. There's no way I'm getting past this. I could call Coleman, yeah. I call him.
Mr. Coleman, your phone rings. It's from Dr. Christensen.
Is Elizabeth still with me? I mean, I'm not saying I would have told her to go, but I'd be surprised if she didn't have work to do today at some point, or did she have a reason to leave, or is she still in the house?
She's been watching TV. I mean, the thing is that the city is in quite bad shape, and there's a lot of things happening, so it's very easy to just kind of get stuck just doom-watching TV and kind of following CNN and just seeing what the next thing is.
Well, that certainly makes sense. Oh, hey, Doctor, how are you this morning?
Hi, Coleman. I'm,
Lunchtime even, sorry. It's getting late.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even react. I've been a little preoccupied. I don't know, I'm gonna assume that you haven't heard the news about my colleague, Dr. Whitehead.
Oh, no, sorry. Did she get that extra security in the end?
She might have, but, unfortunately, she drove herself to death before that.
Oh. Kind of take a sip of coffee. Sorry to hear that. That's terrible.
Yeah. Yep, that's terrible. She, I don't know. She was drinking under... I haven't heard the full story yet. But with her out of the picture, and possibly something else going on behind the scenes, the board has decided to shut down the project.
Oh, Dr. Christensen, I'm really sorry to hear that. That seems a little abrupt, but... Gosh, did they give a reason why? Is it what, can't you just hire someone else? I mean, you were kind of... I don't really know, is it half and half? I thought you were one of the important guy.
Yeah, they're worried about repercussions and the experiments. I don't want to bore you with the details. But, you know, here I am, standing like I don't know. I'm outside of Whitehead's place, hoping that somehow we'll be able to collect a few of the papers, but now there's a very nice and shiny security door with a card slot and a key slot that I have neither. So...
That's a bit strange. Why? What, is this not somewhere you work? Can you not just ring up the office, get a new key?
No, listen, this is her private property. We both of us, since the project was put on hold, the offices and the labs were needed for other things, so we've kept most of our material at home for now. Hoping to get back on things as soon as possible, but yeah, now I mean, I know there's a procedure to go through here, but I'm thinking that seeing how you got involved, you might be able to pull some strings and see if someone can just get me in here.
Are you just collecting, like, documents or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just the things needed for the
project.
Well, the project doesn't exist, but for my own personal research. I mean, I obviously can't do the things
can't you just, like, start another project or just, like, you know, appeal next year or something?
Well, you do understand we're working with pressure here. My daughter only has, she is prognosed for 3 more years, starting over again. It's just, yeah, maybe I can, but I will still need the results that I have. And also, my daughter had a seizure today. Her heart stopped briefly.
Right. Again, I'm started pacing around a little. Part of me is feeling a little awkward that the doctor is unloading an awful lot onto me, like, all at once. Part of me thinks, is it really my problem? But I suppose when he talks about his little girl, I do feel very guilty, and I pace a little. Oh, you're right. You know what? You know what? Okay, you know what? I'm just. You don't need to keep going on, Doctor. I'll talk to the people I was going to get on the property anyway. Sure, they can let you in, and they can be there, and you can get your papers, and I'm sure it'll be fine.
That'd be really helpful, because there might be something. She did say last time we met that she'd come to a certain conclusion that we were going to look at, but now I'm just on a few last vestiges of hope, strings that seeing that maybe...
Doctor, you practically saved my life. I can get a guy to come and unlock a door for you. Yeah. It all sounds inconvenient. Yeah. I'll get on that right now. Let me get on that.
Oh yeah. Well, perfect. I'll just be here for now for a little bit. Just call me back when you got something, okay?
I will, sure.
Yeah.
I'll hang up. Pace around a little. I'll look a little awkwardly towards Elizabeth, and then I'll try and quickly remember what was the phone number again for those guys I was gonna get. I mean, I'm sure, just helping a man open a door, there's nothing unusual about that. Not really. It's Dr. Christensen, for God's sake.
Yes, and I mean, you have your police contact that could make it even more official, Mr. Bergeron, that you met over at the charity dinner. I mean, you could just call on him. He can come sort this out. You could even be there together so that you could be there for your friend who saved your life just yesterday. I mean, that would feel good, wouldn't it?
I suppose, well, that's debatable. I mean, it's a little bit out of the way, and Elizabeth's right over there, and I have my own things to be thinking about, but I suppose maybe I could go and... well, let's find out what the guy says. Yeah, I'll ring up my friend at the police and see what he says.
We are very busy right now, of course, with everything that's happening, but for you, Mr. Coleman, we'll make a special exception. I'll deal with this personally. So where should I head to meet you?
Oh, you know what? Come by my place. We'll go together. Yeah, sure. I'll show you where to go. It's a silly thing, really. I think the doctor's just going through some very serious stuff right now, and I think it'd be really grateful just to get these papers from his friend. I mean, I'm sure she would have wanted him to have them, and I don't see why not. It's all very sudden.
Say no more. I'll be right there. And it won't be long until Mr. Bergeron will arrive in his patrol car. What do you do before then?
I turn to look down the stairs that eventually leads to the basement. I kind of wanted to. I just needed one bit of reassurance, really, but no, maybe I have used it quite a lot recently, and I shouldn't really. Let's leave that today. I'll be fine. And instead I'll go to Elizabeth and I'll say, this is really weird. I need to go, and a friend of mine is in some sort of mild predicament. I kind of need to help him out.
Oh, sure. You should help your friends. I can head home, or I could stay here. I could be here when you come back if if you would like.
Pause for a moment. She could just stay here. I'll be right back after all. But then again, no, I'm still not quite feeling up to it. You know, how about you come with and we drop you off on the way? I don't, you don't want to hang around here in this house. It gets a bit lonely.
It's haunted, right? That's what you were saying, right, Daniel? She smiled. You're afraid the goats are gonna come in and eat me, is that it?
Well, hang on. That's no. They've never. The maid never got eaten. They just quit.
She smiles at you. Well, it's all right. That sounds fine. I'll come with you now.
Good. You can come with. I actually would like you to come with me because then we can,
Yeah, and you do the thing you need to do, and then we'll see what happens next.
And I'll take her by the hand and lead her outside, and hopefully wait for this lovely police friend of mine to come by.
Yes, and he does. He nods to both you and to Elizabeth. And if there's nothing in particular that you want to say to him, he will just begin driving.
Nope, I'm happy to lead on, begin driving over, and on the way I'll just, again, explain how I think my good friend is going through some serious matters. I explain his partner just died, or I think his lab partner at least. And yeah, this is just a little favour, which, and again, he himself can be there to make sure that nothing too unusual is going on.
Mr. Bergeron just nods. Say no more. It's important to take care of your friends. On the way, you're passing by where Elizabeth lives. You could drop me off right here.
I'll tell you what, I'll do this, and then how about we spend the rest of the day... I can come by yours. This is more cozy.
That sounds nice. Sure. Well, I'll see you later. I'll be on the lookout for ghosts in my apartment as well.
I'm pretty sure your apartment's absolutely fine.
Are you sure? She hums the Ghostbusters theme as you drive off.
I sit back and wait to meet Dr. Christensen.
Yes, and you arrive in this suburban neighborhood close to the hospital. I mean, it really looks, it has that look, a lot of nice looking houses, and there's this minimalist black and white house on Northwest Coronado Street, and you see Dr. Christensen standing outside of it. What do you do?
I step out of the car, I nod to my friend, and I say, Dr. Christensen!
Oh, Coleman, you didn't have to come here yourself. I was just waiting for you to call me back, yeah?
No, I just thought I should come. I mean, it's the least I can do, right? You need a favor? I'm here to help out. We'll get you those papers, we can give you a lift somewhere back home, maybe.
That'll be all right. If you just let me in, I'm just I don't know exactly where she had put them, so just as long as you let me in, I'll just have a look and collect those things. Yeah.
Mr. Bergeron has stepped out of the car, and you now see, first of all, Dr. Christensen, that it's a patrol car that has arrived, and Mr. Bergeron, this large man, I think you saw him at the charity dinner as well. He's partially wearing riot gear, which makes sense given what's happening. It's been a heck of a weekend, huh, gentlemen?
Oh yeah, I can't imagine from your side. It's must have been very stressful.
That is just the start of it. You needed some help, yes?
Yeah, I've gotta collect a few things from my friend and colleague who unfortunately passed away. I believe you had some help or hand in setting this up, and I nod towards the door.
Oh yes, very tragic.
Yeah.
Dr. Whitehead, we just put this in. I understand that, she had her demons, as I suppose we all do. You're here to help the family with something?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. It is in that regard. Yeah, of course.
I look a little concerned towards the doctor for a moment. I'd like to roll an intuition check. He seems to be not quite himself. That is a 9. So, fortunately, I will not find out anything. Instead, I will quite obviously glare at the doctor, and I'm giving across my intention that I think he's acting a little unusual.
I standing there, being confronted with a police officer in riot gear, and then Coleman, my friend, looking openly skeptical to the situation, I start to feel a little bit nervous because of maybe I'm telling one person one thing and the other the next. I didn't think Coleman would care that much. Yeah. So are we doing this or what?
Oh, of course. Mr. Bergeron brings up a key card, master key, and he scans it, and then he's got a key with him as well. Also some kind of master key type thing. Looking at this, it's both reassuring that, of course, all these doors can be opened by one key card and one key if it's necessary, but it also doesn't feel entirely secure, because that means that, well, something can open all locks. But that is perhaps the world that we live in. Well, it's open. I'll be standing by right here if there's anything else you need.
Oh, I'll be fine. Is it? I assume you're all very busy. I can just, if you would prefer, I can lock it up. Does it just lock by itself when I leave, or?
Yeah, it's got an auto lock function. So, if you could do that, that would actually be great, because he points to the smoke coming from the city. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me know if you need anything else on my end. Like, I don't know, there's alarm and stuff going on. Otherwise, I'll do this and be on my way. Shouldn't take longer than an hour or so.
It's perhaps best that I was just simply never here for all of us, huh? Well, good luck, gentlemen, and he gets into the car and begins driving off.
Sure. As he goes, I just pause for a moment as I say, well, I guess I'll head then. I just wanted to make sure it all went down well. I guess that security stuff probably... maybe I can cover the payment. I wouldn't want the family to have to pay for it.
Yeah, well, I imagine you're busy too, even with what's going on, but it's not that like I... Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll head then. Are you... I lean forwards. Are you okay? You kind of act... I don't want to pry. I imagine this is all quite a big thing, but I could have a word with, like, the people of the medical board. Like, maybe just instead of the project being cancelled, it could just be delayed just a little bit. Maybe I can get them back on track. I don't understand why they'd... Maybe we can get a new doctor, someone you can recommend, and they can be your number 2 again, or...
I just scratch my cheek a little bit idly, looking at you, and then I say, are you okay? Are we...
Oh, you know what? I'm fine. Thanks to you. I mean, hell, I haven't even got a scratch. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going kayaking again anytime soon, but no, I think things are good.
You, been thinking about that?
About what?
I don't know, you stabbing a person and people attacking us and being lost and...
Oh, Doc, I told you I don't really remember what happened. People attacked us. I don't really think that... Did that happen? I don't remember. I just remember being concussed and falling over, and then we got out of that situation, thankfully.
So that's how you're gonna play this, yeah?
Why would I play it any other way?
No, of course it would be inconvenient if you look. I accepted that something strange like that happened. Not saying that. I mean, you got us out of a hairy situation, and I got you out of a hairy situation, so as far as I'm concerned, that's all gone and done with, unless you wanted to, talk about it or find out what actually happened, because I believe something really strange happened that you and I were unique witnesses of, I say. Now having my foot just in the door kind of halfway in this conversation.
I mean, what, you're... Like, people attacked us? A bunch of people attacked us? Oh, I mean, maybe... I don't remember very well. I kind of lie on that one. Maybe we ran into some of these protesters. But I didn't stab a man. I think there would have been some evidence of that. That's a bit of an accusation, Jermaine.
I just look at you for a bit, then I just shrug. Alright, fine, you, alright. Well, I'd better let you get on with your day then.
Yeah, sure, I guess I'll let you get on with it. And I kind of turn away quite abruptly. I'm a little irritated, actually. I kind of was worried about him for a second, but now he's... is he accusing me of something? And I'm a little concerned about that, because most of that didn't happen, right? But he didn't say he saw some of that stuff too, but obviously it didn't happen the way I thought it happened, because that doesn't make any sense. And, well, whatever. Maybe I shouldn't have been prying in his business. I have my own thing to be dealing with. And so I will kind of, almost in a bit of a huff, head off.
As he just turns on his heel and has his back to me, I'm just saying after him in quite a loud voice for this small, quiet town. It all happened, Coleman. It all happened. The storm, the woods, and everything. The building. It all happened. And then I just closed the door after me.
Can you leave it at that, Mr. Coleman?
Well, I mean, if some of it could have happened, I was looking into it. I just didn't have time yet, and... The tap, I think, is a little. I suppose eventually I will return to the house after some time's passed. See if I can follow him inside.
As you come in, you can feel that the house is quite cold. It's got a distinct smell of cigarette smoke as you get in there. You do remember that she was an avid smoker. There's a panel on the wall that indicates that the climate control is set to 18 degrees, which is quite cold. A lot of chrome glass tables so you can see from here. You see that there's a screen by the side of the door, actually, that shows who is at the door, basically. It's kind of like something you can use when delivery people come and make sure that you don't let someone in who's not supposed to come in. And it's automatically showing that Mr. Coleman is standing there. He doesn't look super happy.
If it weren't for the fact that I actually genuinely like the man, he's a nice guy. He's caring, he got along well with the family, and I still would love to see him a bit more in my life. If it weren't for all those things, I might have just been a bit feeling snidely to myself that, yeah, he doesn't get a second chance at that, or whatever. But, yeah, I would prefer that we both accepted the truth together and maybe found out more, maybe had him in on this. So, I'm going to click, click, click up the climate control to 22, and then I'm gonna open the door.
And the door opens for you, Mr. Coleman.
I step in quickly and I say, all right, let's I look around a bit nervously. Let's say maybe we did run into a bunch of dangerous people who tried to attack us and I defended myself. Like, what does this have to do with that? You're acting a bit weirdly yourself, Doctor, just saying. Asking me to help you break in here, essentially. That's kind of what's actually happening. I kind of was going to let it go, but then you're acting already weird.
No, that's not what's happening. I'm not asking you to help me commit any kind of a crime. If that was what's going on in your mind when you gave me that foul eyeballing outside. Man, you looked like you, I don't know, wanted to see me behind bars or something, and I was
concerned. You were acting really, all you needed to, like, you literally just are here to pick up some papers. You were the one acting like you were up to something, and you know, normally you're so calm and collected, like I'm the, well, not that you know, I get nervous.
Yeah, well, I get nervous too, and just 2 days ago, or 1 day ago, all this happened that with us I've checked with people. There was no storm. There was not even a mist on the river that day. Whatever we went into was somewhere completely different, and that all happened. I didn't hit my head. I wasn't concussed. The doctors checking me over, they could tell that I did a good job on you, but not to hold that over your head or anything, but I was completely fine that day. I had no reason to stress out and share, for that part, a vision or hallucination with you. Like, when would we even have come up with that stuff? And where did you get that knife anyway?
I just sometimes, it's a self-defense thing. I don't believe in guns, but there's nothing wrong with a knife is a useful tool, especially when you're going on a kayaking trip. Anyway, well, yeah, I mean, I heard that too, and it made sense to me because, like, otherwise there would have been some evidence of a bunch of people attacking us in the woods.
I don't care about that. I don't care. We all got us out of that pinch. There was a big metal building, and I pat my pockets, and I found this, and I hold out the little piece of cloth with the flowers on. I still can't place, but it's familiar to me. And then, in all of this, all of what happened, one of the strangest things is when those people were there, one of them, further back, you might not have seen her, but she looked exactly like Cadence, my little daughter.
She did?
I could have sworn. I would have hoped almost for you that you actually saw her too, but with all the chaos that was going on.
One of them was trying to kill me.
Yes.
Doctor, you gotta believe me.
Yes.
He was trying to throttle me to death.
Yes.
I defended myself.
Yes, self-defense. Absolutely. I'm with you 100%. And if anyone were to, show up of those people that looked like they were dressed up for some sort of old action film in the jungle, then sure. If they showed up and wanted a court case, I will testify. But as far as I'm concerned, this is an isolated incident. It's not gonna come up in anyone's mind but ours. But I gotta find out what was happening back there, because that was... I still hold this piece. I'm shaking the piece of cloth at you. This is tangible evidence. And I realize how crazy that sounds, and I just start...
I sit down, I sigh heavily, I kind of feel a little defeated. He kind of is starting to have a good point. And the truth is, obviously I do know some things. The world is actually not always so squeaky clean. There are bad people in the world. That's why you have to protect things from them, because there are bad things, bad forces in this world. And I just say, maybe... I suppose I don't know what we can do. Like, I think we got lucky. I think maybe we were in a lot of danger there, Doctor. I don't actually know how we got out of it. There are things in this world that are bad and want to harm people, and I think we were there. And I don't know why your daughter would have been there, though. It might have been a trick or something to rattle you.
What do you mean there are bad things in the world? Like, strange things?
You think I'm crazy? A little.
Well, you call me equal then.
There is more to this world than we think, I'm not saying every single stupid story you hear is true about ghosts and aliens and witches and monsters. Of course not, but...
I cross my arms.
Some of it has elements of truth. There's a darkness in the world, Doctor, and it can hurt people. It can be attached to objects, it can be attached to places. The dead, again, most of it's nonsense, but there are some things, and that's what I try and do. My collection. I have attempted in my life to find things, if things that might be hurtful to people or harm people, and try and put them in a safe place. That's what my family, my father and his father before him, were kind of into. And some people in this world want to get those things. Now, I don't know if, again, I don't know who those people were, but maybe you're right. Maybe we were in a bad place, and we met some bad people, and they wanted something from us, or me.
You're saying that what you've been doing all this time and the objects you collect, that's what pulled us into that?
No, I didn't say that. I don't know why we got where we were. I haven't got a clue.
And all this happened just because I happened to be close to you at that time?
No, that it's not.
Oh no, you're saying that I can't have this. I already had the project got shut down. I told you. I gotta try and save my daughter.
Well, exactly.
I can't be part of your other world.
Well, good. I wasn't asking you to. The doctor. I was trying to tell you that it was all probably a dream, and you're. Come on. I was literally trying to do that, and now I'm being on. I'm trying to be honest. I told you I'd sound crazy.
No, It's all crazy. God,
I know. I'm sorry.
No, look. I haven't been completely honest. I did not just come here to collect the papers. I mean, she did say that she had a breakthrough of sorts, and I need to find out what that is. The project is shut down. If I want to do anything, I have to do it myself, and even if I do, any kind of experiments on animals that would take it as far as we did won't be legally sanctioned. What happened was that somehow footage of what we were doing has leaked out to a person, and they're blackmailing the hospital. And that's why they're shutting down the project, because they're worried about consequences. They're even telling me that they're gonna just shut me out without any kind of severance package. No, I'm gonna be left out in the street. I mean, or face their legal team. That's what they're saying. So I can't just watch my daughter die. I can't see her fall to pieces over 3 years over something that I know I could have done something about, that I got so far with. Her heart is out there. I point out just to the outside. It's out there somewhere.
Okay, doctor. Okay.
In the footage, there was footage of the very specimen alive, kept somewhere. It exists. Her heart is out there. It just needs to be taken from an animal, into my daughter.
Okay, well, that all sounds fine. I suppose. I do look a little confused, because some of the stuff he started saying was a bit much. Like, what does he mean, animal experiments going too far? But again, I'm a little amazed he is actually listening to me, and there's only so many people in this world who would actually remotely take what I've said seriously, so I am trying to give him some benefit of the doubt. Look, okay, how about okay, well, I'll help you then, and all that stuff in the woods, like, okay, my take on it, if you really want to know, some people are trying to do something, or coming for something, and I need to try and stop them, or not stop them, but maybe just not antagonize them, because again, there's forces at play, which, if you mess around with stuff, you get burned. That makes sense, right? So my thinking was that I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and everything will be fine.
Well, I know everything about getting burned. So, look, I wasn't expecting you to want to help me. I'm just trying to justify what I'm doing, okay?
Well, I feel like I should. And again, I'm not saying you're right, but maybe I did get you involved in something. I don't know how I could have done that, but maybe I did. And now you know. But the whole point is that when you know these things, as long as you just are careful, you'll be fine. You should be fine. And okay, remember, there seemed to be a place, yes, that had something on.
Yeah.
I think they wanted to destroy it, or turn it off, or do damage it somehow, and I think we need to, that's what we need to stop, if we can, or that's a bad thing, like it needs to be protected, whatever that thing was.
Yeah.
It told me it wanted to be protected.
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like it was some sort of machinery that went on for a while. That noise was deafening, so something was on. Sure, yeah, I can buy into that. They, these, I don't know what, feral-looking humans wanting something to do with it, and you stopping that. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I don't think they were real humans.
No.
I don't know what they were. Maybe they were ghosts or demons or something from an alternate dimension. It's all, you never know what's true or not. But they were bad. They wanted to hurt us. And yeah, sure. I would like to stop that happening myself. So if you have ideas on that, I'm more than willing to help. But for the moment, how about we? I can't see how they're linked. They can't be, right? Can they? I don't know. Maybe.
You kind of had lost me at ghosts and demons, but yeah. Somehow, I don't think that's necessarily linked to.
Exactly. So how about for now we just focus on getting those papers? There you go. And what? So you want to find where you said there was a break-in. So you think the people stole the thing you need, and maybe we can just find them and get it back. There we go.
Yes, that's exactly what you could help me with. If we could start somehow, I don't know, some kind of tracks that we had an assistant. That's the only other person involved with this. That's the only other one that I could think of had even taken this footage that I don't remember being filmed. As a start somehow to
right,
tracking
well, let's start then. Let's look around let's get what you need from the house. And start actually looking at the house itself.
All right. I know. No, I've never been here before. I'm gonna start looking, but I know her and I know how she thinks. So I'm gonna start looking around, and if you want to help me with that, yes, please, thanks.
So you are finding yourself inside this very modern, stylish, well-designed home of Dr. Whitehead's. And there's a lot of chrome, glass tables, ashtrays in glass. Everything is neat. Everything's cleaned. All the ashtrays emptied. Very few personal items displayed. There's one photo of Dr. Whitehead, probably from when she graduated from medical school. Black and white, probably for stylistic reasons. Her proud parents standing behind her. There's a kitchen. There's a living room, and there's a bedroom. Who goes where, and what are you looking for?
Primarily, I want to find her work. I want to find any notes, any papers. I'm looking for a workspace, I guess, or a laptop or a computer, anything that I could. Yeah, that's kind of things. And then secondarily, somewhere in my mind, I do think about traces of threats, I guess. Reasons why she would be dead, or any kind of violence or harm, anything that could relate more to what has happened to her, I guess.
So, and what about you, Mr. Coleman? Where are you looking?
I mean, I'm a little at a loss. This isn't really something I've done ever, really. I mean, I obviously know how to read a book and categorize a painting or a statue, but searching around someone's house like a crime scene, I have no idea what I'm doing. But again, I feel that Dr. Christensen listened to me. He didn't say I was mad. I'm a little worried for him. Maybe, is it possible that I have got him involved in something? But I don't even understand how I would have. It seems so oddly coincidental. So I feel a bit guilty, so I have to help. So, alright, he's looking for papers. Well, I'll go and see if I can find any hidden papers, look under floorboards, tap paintings. It seems a little silly, mainly copying things I've seen in TV, but I suppose I'm trying. So maybe I focus on the lower parts of the house and let him actually focus on the more important areas.
Alright, well then perhaps you are in the kitchen, and you end up going to the bedroom, Dr. Christensen. We can begin with you, Mr. Coleman. You are in the kitchen. There's a kitchen island, glass worktop, no dust. In the kitchen sink, there's an empty bottle of vodka, a wine rack that's filled with more bottles.
I'll start looking through the pantry, the fridge, sort of looking, are there any little cubby holes? Again, what was it she said again? Or no, what was it he said again? He said she was concerned that people were, she was unsafe. Had she made some people unhappy? Maybe this research they were doing? Still don't understand how anyone could have a problem with medical research, although he did say stuff about animals, but I don't think I'll question that for now. And yes, that's what we're focusing on.
You end up finding a envelope, and it seems to have been used quite recently. And inside you find letters. It looks like it's been printed out. Letters addressed to her. Rather threatening texts. We know what you have done. Animals deserve to live free. You are a murderer. And so forth. That's something that you have found. It was inside one of the kitchen cabinets inside of an envelope.
Huh. So maybe some animal rights activists. What on earth was he doing with these animals? I didn't really even think animals were involved. I kind of thought people didn't do that anymore. Not properly, anyway. But okay, maybe that's who... I wonder how airtight this drove herself to death story actually is.
You also notice that there's an LP player, and there's a collection of LP records, vinyl. Many of them in pristine shape. Clearly a bit of a collector. Lots of soul from the 70s and 80s.
I'll peek through them. Anything unusual about them, or do they just seem like a nice music collection?
That's a very nice music collection. That's really all. You're looking through those records, and we go to Dr. Christensen. You are in her bedroom. And this is, of course, a place you have never been, and it's, normally a rather private place. It's very modern, featuring expensive designer furniture, spacious bed covered by black satin sheets. On the bed, partially hidden by the duvet, is a laptop, you can see. There's also a book on the nightstand. The nightstand also has some drawers. What do you do?
It surprises me a little bit that there's no real workspace in this house. It's strangely clinical. I feel uncomfortable being in someone else's bedroom, even though it's for hopefully a good cause. But I moved the satin bed sheet aside to get this laptop. I just fold it open and see if I get into it.
Yes. You see that there's it's asking for a password.
What was the other thing that was next to it?
Well, there's a nightstand. There's a book on the nightstand.
Yeah, what book is it?
Annihilation by Michel Houellebecq. Takes place in 2026 during the French presidential election. Intricate cyber attacks, faked video of a minister being guillotined is spread.
Yeah, that's a coincidence. I just pick up the book and kind of just page through it to see if that should by any chance put anything in there, or there's anything.
You need a 4-digit number.
Well, I could try 2026.
You do, and miraculously that works.
I quickly look at the laptop and its contents as I get into it. Does it seem to get into her? Is this her work files? Are they there?
Yeah, there's some work stuff, definitely. There is, it's basically divided between two different things. It's, work stuff, so research, things that she's copied over from her work computer, most likely. You don't know where that one is. Might be in the office still. One part is these work files, basically. The other is links to dating sites. She seems to have multiple profiles going, different usernames. It immediately pops up. In fact, seems like she's looking in the Portland area, which seems sensible, given that dating around a lot in a small place like Corvallis might get people talking.
We all get lonely. Well, this is good. I don't want to stay around here too long, so I'll probably look for things I can bring with me, and this laptop is definitely going to be one of them. I am just going to fold it up.
Before you close it up, you also see that there is correspondence with a private security company.
Oh. I just about to fold it up, and then I see that. I open it again. I'll have a look at that.
Yeah, it seems like they have analyzed printed letters, threat letters that Dr. White had received. She seems to have forwarded the results to the police and just gotten a standard form reply back. The interesting thing is that this company has done an analysis of the printouts, and, well, you might remember, or perhaps not, there was a case a number of years back, an NSA contractor who leaked the Russia election meddling report. She had a really strange name, Reality Winner. And yeah, they got her this way by tracking markings in the printout, and were able to connect that to a very specific printer. Printers apparently are leaving behind traces, and that seems to have happened here as well. It seems that this Bright Falls security company has been able to connect and identify an IP address from this printout. And interestingly enough, it specifies something called Weatherford Hall, which is offering student housing for Oregon State University students. It's the dorm Wi-Fi in Weatherford Hall. That seems to be where this has been printed. It's smack in the middle of campus, though, and didn't someone mention that campus was occupied right now? Yeah. But that's where this was printed, and that's where the traces in Dr. Whitehead's home seems to be pointing towards. You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the scenario A Hole in My Heart for KULT Divinity Lost. We have created this scenario ourselves, and this series is sponsored by Helmgast. The music was made by Atrium Carceri, and was used with permission from their label, Cryochamber. Check out their website at cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel for some moody dark ambient for your gaming table. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Simon Cooper, David, Julia, Camilla, Bob Lange, Cameron, Antxon, Graham Barey, and Doug Thomson for their generous support. And we would of course also like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for KULT Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play KULT with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and remember that death is only the beginning.